Welcome to Messages from the Universe with Laurie Wondra. Laurie is an internationally renowned psychic medium, author, and shamanic practitioner, sharing insights from angels, guides, wisdom keepers, and teachers of the universe that help you navigate life's mysteries and transformations.
Hello, I am Laurie Wondra, and thank you for listening. I know you want to leave 2025 behind and jump into 2026. Well, today I want to talk a little bit about our soul's reflection and what 2025 really taught you. We will move into 2026, and there's a lot of energy that's pushing us to move forward, but there's still time for contemplation and learning and releasing and ensuring that as we do go into 2026, we truly have left behind those things that are needing to be behind us. As 2025 closes, we stand at the edge of something both tender and profound. It's the ending of the 9-year numerology cycle, and for 9 years, your soul has been traveling through phases of initiation and growth and shadow work. It's been working on manifestation and, of course, awakening. So we can't just skip over it. We can't just pass it by real quickly. As much as we want to leave those years behind, maybe because of the challenges we faced, it is important that we stop and assess and we review and we celebrate. Each year has been a stepping stone leading to this moment. It's a accumulation of lessons and stories and, of course, energetic patterns that have shaped the soul you are now. And looking back can also help you step into the soul you are becoming in the next 9-year cycle. So we know 2025, the universal year of 9, was not meant to be easy. It was actually designed to strip away what no longer served your highest timeline. It was the cosmic composting year, where unfinished chapters found closure. Karmic threads were finally tied off, and old dreams were returned to source for transformation. In numerology, the 9 is the great teacher, the healer, the humanitarian, and its purpose is not simply to end, but to integrate, forgive, and certainly elevate. And you may have noticed this theme echoing through your experiences. Your relationships that once defined you began to shift. Career paths that once fit perfectly began to feel too small, too restrictive. Maybe habits or patterns or identities that once brought great comfort began to fall away or dissolve. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, asked you one question all year long. Are you ready to let go? Now, what we're going to talk about today is a reflection on what 2025 taught your soul, the ritual of closure, but it also brings the excitement of new beginnings. But I also want to talk about the preview of what's awaiting in the dawning of the 1 year of 2026 when the wheel of creation begins again. Now, numerology of endings, understanding the universal of 9, includes that we fully receive the wisdom of 2025. We first understand the vibration of the number 9 in numerology, and then each cycle runs from 1 through 9, symbolizing the soul's journey from birth to transcendence. We last were in a 9-year in 2017, so you could look back into the cycles that you've had throughout your life. And with each new 1 year, it begins a new cycle. So 2026, it initiates creation. This is a spark of new beginnings. The number 2 year, so as we go into 2027, invites balance and harmony and partnership. And 2028 then brings expression and creativity. And the number 4 for 2029 builds structure and stability. And the number 5 demands change and freedom and adaptability. And number 6 creates nurturing love and responsibility and connection. In 2031, the number 7 is about deepening spirituality and reflection and study. In 2032, the number 8 is about manifestation, manifesting abundance and mastery. And then finally, as we complete the cycle in 2033, which sounds really odd in itself, that's about returning wisdom to source. So the number 9 holds the frequency of compassion and forgiveness and certainly surrender. It asks us to release what is finished so that a new cycle can begin without energetic residue. So in 2025, this meant that many of us found ourselves revisiting old wounds, patterns, and dreams, things that we were anchored to or that was holding us back, but not as punishment, but as opportunity. The universe placed before us every fragment still tethered to the past and invited us to say, I bless this, I release this, and now I am free. The number 9-year energy can sometimes feel very heavy or emotionally because it's amplified. It's amplified all that there is to resolve and all that there is that has been unresolved. But its true purpose is alchemy, to turn endings into wisdom, pain into compassion, and experiences into gold. So as much as we want to forget about 2025 and the experiences that we've had, it really is a valuable time for us to reflect on the soul lessons of 2025. Because when you look back on 2025, what do you see? Not through the lens of goals achieved or challenges endured or how you survived, but through the eyes of your soul. Each moment of joy and sorrow this year in 2025 held a deeper message. So let's walk through some of the collective themes and energetic teachings that really defined the vibration of 2025. Number 1, it was the art of letting go. Letting go is not about losing, it's about allowing. And 2025 likely asked you to loosen your grip on expectations, identities, or timelines that you once believed essential. Whether it was a job, a relationship, maybe a version of yourself, or even a belief system, the release made space for expansion. And Spirit often whispers, you cannot carry the old into the new. The closing of a cycle requires surrender, not in defeat, but in faith. So ask yourself, what did I truly release, willingly or unwillingly? What grief or resistance still might linger in my heart? And where have I already noticed lightness and peace emerging from my letting go? Number 2, the integration of wisdom. The 9-year brings together all the lessons of the past 8. It is a year of synthesis where experience crystallizes into understanding. Perhaps you recognized repeating patterns that you have followed for years. Maybe you finally understood why certain relationships or situations unfolded the way they did. Or perhaps you found yourself no longer triggered by what once would have sent you spiraling. This is integration, the soul's version of graduation. You are not the same person you were when this 9-year cycle began back in 2017. This was the last universal year 1, the seed year of this entire journey. Pause and reflect. Who was I back in 2017? How was my inner landscape transformed since that time period? What experiences really stand out as turning points in my spiritual or emotional or mental evolution? And integration requires celebration, honoring how far you've come and recognizing that even the difficult chapters were part of your soul's curriculum. Number 3, learning that gratitude is medicine. 2025 reminded us that gratitude isn't a reaction to life going our way. It's a vibration that transforms every situation into grace. In times of uncertainty, when doors closed or paths shifted, gratitude became the bridge between confusion and trust. And it taught us that endings are not failures, they're sacred completions. So take a moment to acknowledge what you're grateful for. Not only the blessings, but the lessons. The person who challenged you, revealing your strength. the delay that redirected you toward more alignment, perhaps the moment of loss that opened your heart to deeper compassion. And when you offer thanks for the full spectrum of your experiences, you reclaim your power as the co-creator of your reality. Gratitude anchors you in completion rather than resistance. And number 4, healing and emotional release. The final year of a cycle often stirs the emotional body. Old wounds tend to surface, not in punishment, but to be cleared. We have a better awareness of us as humans, emoting and having those mental processes that support our emotional beliefs or emotional being. In 2025, many felt waves of emotion, grief, nostalgia, even fatigue. The energetic field of the planet was purging, and with it, so were we. This year demanded we tend to our hearts with softness. Healing in a 9-year is rarely linear. It's cyclical, just like nature, and we were in the year of the snake. You may have noticed yourself revisiting memories or emotions from years past, almost as if your higher self was walking back through time, closing energetic loops, completion. As you review the year of 2025, ask gently, what emotions did I finally allow myself to feel? What parts of me did I welcome home, perhaps after years of exile? What still needs compassion rather than closure? Forgiveness of self and others is the final medicine of a 9-year cycle. It doesn't mean forgetting or excusing. It means reclaiming your energy from what's over. This is a time of the harvest of wisdom. We're in winter season now, but every ending carries a harvest season. The soil of your experiences this year is rich with insight, but harvesting requires presence, a willingness to pause and gather what your soul has grown. You might journal or meditate on these few things. What did I learn about love? Perhaps love became less about attachment and more about freedom. What did I learn about trust? Maybe faith became an action, not merely a concept. And what did I learn about my soul's calling? Did a new purpose emerge as old paths dissolved? And 2025 was the universe's way of clearing the field before planting this next garden. The old crops have served their time. The soil must now rest before the new seeds of 2026 begin to take root. This pause, this time is sacred. Allow yourself to integrate before rushing forward. As humans, we like to be finished, to have closure and then quickly move on. But this is about ending and allowing the powerful energy of that ending to be acknowledged. Some simple ceremonies that can help you acknowledge and celebrate and gather the wisdom to you include maybe a fire release ceremony. Write down everything that you released, your old fears, outdated beliefs, habits, or regrets. Safely burn the paper in a fireproof bowl, candle flame, or outdoor fire. Sometimes in places where you aren't able to have a live fire, take an LED candle, battery-operated candle, and write down the things you're releasing and set that candle on top of that paper until the battery-operated candle simply goes out. If you are using real fire, acknowledge as the smoke rises. Imagine the universe transmuting the energy of those things you've released into light. And you might say, I release what no longer serves my highest good. I make space for what is aligned, whole, and new. Another idea is a forgiveness practice. Simply closing your eyes and bring to mind anyone or anything that still carries an emotional charge. Let it go. It's not serving you. Whisper softly, I forgive you. I release you. I am free. And then speak the same words to yourself. And remember, forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. It means liberation. Another great practice is a gratitude jar or a journal. Now, if we're still in 2025, you can write out daily notes of gratitude, small or profound. And then at the year's end, read them aloud and feel the frequency of appreciation. Feel that fill your heart, because gratitude completes cycles with grace. Or you can enter into 2026 and start a gratitude jar and read those slips of paper at the end of 2026. Or start a journal. What are simple notes of gratitude each day or each week? Another great practice is doing energetic clearing. And you can use a singing bowl for this. You can use drumming. You can use your voice or toning. You can use sage or cedar or incense, or simply light, as mentioned earlier with candles, or even visualization. Clearing your space. Imagine releasing all energetic cords or attachments that are no longer resonant. You've outgrown them. You don't need them. They're something of the past. This is a time to call back your power. You might even add the prayer, I call back all parts of my energy cleansed and renewed from every person, place, and time. I am aligned in my energy here and now. And lastly, my personal favorite is elemental renewal, working with the elements to balance your energy. Earth, to ground yourself in nature, being barefoot on soil if you can. Water, taking a bath in sea salt, Epsom salt bath, maybe adding some oils or rose petals. Fire, lighting candles, signifying your inner light and the transformation that you are forever in. And your fire burns bright. And air, breathing deeply, using wind or sound to clear stagnation. And of course, spirit, offering prayer, song, or meditation to the divine. And when all elements are honored, balance returns. So what's the spiritual significance of the 9-year completion? Well, on a metaphysical level, the closing of a 9-year is, I might say, a soul graduation. It's as if the universe is saying you've completed a chapter of mastery. This graduation may not come with applause or a certificate. It often arrives quietly through an inner peace, a knowing. You might notice that something that once triggered you now feels neutral, and that's evolution. The 9-year also corresponds to the hermit archetype in tarot, the wise teacher who carries a lantern of inner light. And the hermit doesn't seek external validation. He knows that wisdom is found within. And 2025 likely called you to retreat inward at times. The last months of 2025 were all about inward energy, to listen, to observe, to illuminate your own truth. You may have discovered that solitude can be that peaceful, holy place, that endings can feel like grace, that not everything needs to be fixed or understood. Some things simply just need to be released. And as the hermit teaches, integration happens in stillness. Allow yourself to rest before the new dawn of 2026. Now we have an energetic bridge between 2025 and 2026. Between December and January lies an energetic threshold. It's the space between worlds. The old cycle is fading and the new one has yet to begin. This is a very potent window for reflection, ceremony, intention setting, and energetically the collective vibration is shifting from 9 of completion to the 1 of initiation. And the bridge between these frequencies is quite delicate. It requires both surrender and faith. Think of it as crossing from the final page of one book into the blank page of another. You cannot rush it. You can only walk mindfully. So let's take a glimpse into 2026, the universal year of 1. So if 2025 was about endings, 2026 will be about beginnings. It will carry the universal year number of 1. It's a vibration of creation, independence, innovation, and rebirth. And the energy of the number 1 in numerology is pure creative fire, the spark that ignites new cycles. It represents leadership, courage, and the will to step into new territory. And after the deep emotional work of this last year, 2026 arrives like a sunrise after a long, long dark night, but its energy asks, who are you now that you've let go of all this old? What new dream is ready to emerge from your heart? What wisdom are you carrying forward, and are you willing to act on your inspiration with confidence and trust? And 2026 will encourage forward momentum. This means starting new projects, relationships, and paths that are aligned with your soul's evolution. It's a year to claim your identity, plant new seeds, and take bold action. But remember, the soil must first be cleared. And that's why 2025's purification was so essential. The clarity you gain now becomes the foundation for your next 9-year cycle of growth. It's not about repeating those challenges. It's about expanding beyond and evolving. So energetic themes to expect in early 2026 include the birth of a new vision. After the introspection of 2025, many will feel a surge of creative and spiritual momentum. The desire to build something new will be strong. We also move into the Chinese New Year of the year of the fire horse, and that's going to give more momentum of forward action. It's also a time of sovereignty and self-leadership. The 1 year demands authenticity. No more living by others' expectations. This is a time to lead your life with clear purpose. It's about innovation and courage. This is about expecting breakthroughs. We'll see them in technology breakthroughs, healing and mechanisms to heal, and of course, consciousness. The collective energy supports pioneers, inventors, and those bringing higher wisdom into practical form. I project more interaction with the Ascended Master Hilarion, who is about science and the mystics, and he helps the pioneers and the inventors. This is also a year about alignment with our soul purpose. Those who have done their inner clearing will feel called to live in integrity with their truth, with integrity in the areas of their career choice, their relationships, and certainly lifestyles that feel more aligned. And of course, it's a time of manifestation through intention. The vibration of 1 is magnetic. What you focus on early in 2026 will set the tone for the next 9 years. So be deliberate, be clear, be heart-centered in your intentions. The energy of 2025 was not random. It wasn't a punishment. It was the soul's deliberate orchestration for closure, for healing, and, of course, wisdom. But you're standing at a sacred threshold now, the mirror of your own becoming. And as you look into that mirror, you may notice the reflection of every experience that brought you here to this day, this time, this moment, now. The laughter, the tears, the awakenings, of course, the losses, the pain. Each was a thread in your tapestry of your evolution. This is a time to ask your heart, what am I ready to carry forward? What am I ready to leave behind with love? What wisdom will I embody as I step into 2026 in full power and joy and happiness and the illumination of my infinite light? And of course, the 9-year taught you that endings are beginnings in disguise, that the soul never loses, it transforms, that gratitude turns even grief into grace. And as you prepare to enter 2026, remember, you are both the dreamer and the dream. The next chapter of your life is unwritten. It's awaiting the ink of your courage and the light of your heart. And just as much as you can create a list of the things that you've released in 2025, you can also create a list of things for your future, creating that sacred space so that you can dream, lighting a candle, placing objects that represent your journey, such as photos, or crystals or stones, or items that hold meaning to you, to set that future. You can journal about what's ahead, your dreams, your hopes, where you'd like to grow the most. You can write a letter to your future self. This next cycle, 2026 to 2034, begin that letter with, "Dear me," at the dawn of this new cycle. and speak with courage and joy and clarity what you intend to carry forward. Step into the new when you feel ready. Extinguish the candle and say out loud, the past is complete and the future is open, and I walk forward into light. You can honor your endings because they've brought you wisdom, because they've helped you evolve, and you can be complete in those things that you've left behind. And keep your heart open for what's ahead because you are ready for the new beginning. You are excited about what awaits you. This is the truth about what's unfolding in your next chapter. May you stand in this moment with reverence, a sacred pause between what was and what will be. And may the echoes of 2025 fade gently, leaving only wisdom in their wake. May forgiveness cleanse your heart and gratitude expand your light and peace settle into every single cell of your being. And as the first light of 2026 rises, may you walk forward with courage and clarity and, of course, joy, knowing that you are the living embodiment of the divine unfolding through time, through a human experience. The cycle is complete. The soul is reborn. The story, though, continues beautifully, infinitely, and in perfect divine order. I am Laurie Wondra of Your Life Core, and thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to Messages from the Universe. For information about Laurie Wondra's current events or to schedule a private session, visit her website, yourlifecore.com. You can also subscribe to her monthly newsletter. Laurie also shares inspirational and informational messages on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening.